Hey, what's up guys, Edison here. I'm going to be doing a CGC return video in a little bit of a different style. I just recorded these clips that you see in the background and I'll be doing a voiceover going over the cards just to make it a little bit easier for myself. And the submission that you're seeing me go through right now is a 80 card standard sub that I sent in on May 12th. It got received on May 12th and returned to me by June 11th. So honestly, like less than 30 days, including the weekends that I took to get graded, slabbed up and shipped back to me. I think that's like actually crazy that I got this submission back that quickly, and I really do seem like to be the anomaly there. But I mean, getting these cards back I'm happy with. It gives me something to list and it gives me something to do a video on. Oh, and sorry for the shaky camera. I accidentally bumped into it as I was recording. But the first card that we got is this Professor Elm's Lecture from one of the Japanese sets. Got a CGC 9. Here's a cool one, Beginning Door. That is one of the Diamond and Pearl, like Platinum era promo cards. You're gonna see a couple more. Here's a 9/5 in the Flower Pikachu. This is a card that surprised me. I submitted them in the past. I got 10s on a bunch of them and perfects, and this time I don't think I got a 10 on any. I think the highest I got was 9/5, and that's also like a cool card just to see how prices kind of wane. There we go. Here's actually one of the only English cards I submitted in this whole thing, which was Grookey on the Ball. It's one of the UK exclusive promos. It came from the Fustal collection. And oh, this is one of the ones I really like that I submitted. It's an Electabuzz Legend promo. I'm not really sure. It says participation on the label. I think it was like, I've talked to them in the past how they have events where if you went to like a game shop and participated, played some matches there, you would get the promos. There is Playing in the Sea Pikachu. I think that was a pack purchase promo. Here we have another one in that same 9/5 grade. I think 9/5 is pretty good. That's a nice artwork. It's kind of like a modern rendition of Surfing Pikachu. Here we have Blastoise GX Hyper Rare, solid 9/5. Oh, I'm noticing that it's a little out of focus, and I think I try to fix that. But I apologize if you can't see. It's a little out of focus here. Let's see, there we go. That is a bronze LP Victory Medal, 8/5. Honestly, not the best. Those cards are kind of tough to sell, especially in anything less than a 9. Here we have an RCS Victory Medal. And I guess I should say too, like before we get too far in, you're gonna see a lot of Victory Medals throughout this whole sub. I think like half of this sub was Victory Medals. Here we have another RCS one in an 8/5, really cool gold. And this is just me inspecting the card. I have just noticed that they do feel really tough with these grades, like going over a lot of these 8/5s and 9s. They're super mint. Here's another one of those Flower Pikachus, or I guess Flower Pikachu from the Pika Pika campaign. I'm not I spent a lot of time looking at the back of this card. I'm not really sure why. Just a mint 9. Like, I don't know. It's tough. A lot of these cards just feel so clean. Like I'm pretty strict about what I send, especially at stuff like Standard and Express. So to not get 10s on these really did hurt. And those 9/5s, like those 9/5s, you know, are so close to being 10s and hit so many in a row. It does feel bad, especially just like looking at them in the slab. They look super clean. Subgrades express that too. That's a great grade. And that card, the Dragonite FB, I talked about it in the previous video, but it was, I think it was for Battle Arceus or Platinum Arceus. It's the Japanese equivalent set participation card, similar to the Electabuzz. You would play in like a local matches and you would get that card after I think a certain number of wins. More Victory Medals, just the traditional. You've seen a bunch of these in my videos. It's the 2006 Silver with the classic artwork. Here's another one of those Beginning Doors. This one's super nice. That artwork is in English, but the Japanese one has that hollow foil with the set stamp on it. And that's kind of like a spec card. Yeah, so a 9/5 in that same card. Really nice grade for a 2009 promo. That's a card that I'm kind of speccing on. That, you know, with the games coming out at the end of the year, well, actually next year, Legend of Arceus games, that a lot of these Arceus cards are going to become hot maybe into the summer, going to the fall. So even getting these 8/5s, I'm not really in any rush to sell these, so I'm not worried. Here's a cool one. Here is the Zoroark and Greninja Tag Team Gold GX card from Tag Team All-Stars. Got a Mint 9, really nice card. I'm curious too, a lot of people I've talked to about this, like we're still on the fence if this card is coming over to English. It seems kind of weird that the card's not in English, that they really just did a Japanese exclusive for a GX card. Here's a bronze LP victory medal. This is one of those ones that people like just because it's unique Pikachu artwork or metal artwork. 9's a really solid grade. Ooh, 9.5 in the alternate Reg Challenge. The English one is kind of boring. A lot of people like these new alt ones that came out because, you know, you have a starter on it. Here we have Skytree Rayquaza. I sent some Express, and after I sent some Express, some Standard, just split them up 50-50. Really nice full body holo. Here we have another one of those gold tag teams. Here is the Garchomp Giratina Tag Team GX. Really nice. This is probably my favorite of the, because I sent it to the Greninja Zoroark. I think I prefer this Garchomp. Just the gold with the gold background with the blue and the kind of burgundy of the Giratina. Looks really cool. Another one of those, 2006 victory medals. Really simple. It's almost kind of boring going over these stuff because there's so many repeats. 9 in that same card. 9's pretty good. 9.5, that's pretty solid. I was hoping that I would get some 10s on the victory medals just because even though I think, and I do stress that 9.5s are strong, they are. Like the price value is pretty, like it's a pretty huge difference. And you notice me shaking it right there. You're gonna see it later on too. There's a couple of cards in this submission that I noticed felt very loose in the case, which is obviously not what you want from getting your cards graded. But it was like at 1 out of every 40 cases, I think there's only 2 cards I noticed it with. But yeah, just interesting that you have loose cards. Another Skytree Rayquaza. Those are really cool if you haven't seen them in person. The full body kind of prism effect is super nice. Here's the highest grade one that I got in this sub, 9.5, like prism holo, I think it's called. More Japanese, rubbing the back. Oh, and I noticed this too as I was unboxing. They were like really dirty. Another 9.5 in the Skytree. If you saw at the beginning that they're packaged in like that cardboard holder, and for some reason that cardboard rubs off a lot on the slabs themselves. Here's a 9 victory medal, silver simple, 8.5 simple card. Just Pikachu. I was kind of hoping that these would do better or kind of go up more since I bought them, but they have more or less stagnated, and I think that's just the Pokemon market in general. A lot of stuff is retracing or dropping quite a bit. The momentum seems to have been lost on a lot of stuff, and I mean, like anyone else, a lot of the stuff that I spec'd on is in that boat. Yeah, still really solid grades. Let's pull up the second pile. 8.5 in the silver victory medal. This is from that LP collection. Same one as the bronze second place card. Compared to the silver and the bronze, I kind of prefer the bronze for the pose and then the background, but second place is probably preferred overall to third place. Here we have Charizard EX. This is from, it says starter pack on the label. I'm not actually sure how these released in Japan. I think it was just part of like a starter deck. Here's another one. Both got CGC 9s. And if you're like looking at Charizard EXs, there's just so many printed. There's like so many different variations. I think this artwork came over into English generations. But like, I think of the 2 main Charizard EX artworks I did for this era, I prefer this one. It's a little bit more dynamic. Here's another one of those Professor Elm's lectures. I do like this card a lot. I've talked about it in the past. I just think it's so cool to have a full art trainer with the 3 starters on them. But yeah, really nice. Here's a 9.5 in that tag team gold card of Garchomp Giratina. Really, really good, solid grade to get on those. CGC Mint 9 in Pretend Party Pikachu. I think I pulled this up to the camera. Let's see if it focuses. Yeah, this artwork is so nice. I didn't realize a lot of the details before I sent it in, but now looking at it, you have Suicune, Politoed, Marill, Blossom, and then the two Pikachus dressed up. It's just so nice. One of the best Sun and Moon Pikachu promos, hands down. I would say probably like top 5 for me. And then this is just more victory medals. Here's the 2007 gold. And this is kind of like a small thing. You notice the art's reversed for the silver and gold on those. That I'm not like focusing on specific cards, but there was just another CGC 9 in that silver victory. Here we have another victory, but this one is from the Diamond and Pearl Platinum era, DPT era. Here it is of Giratina with the victory medal, which is like the metal thing that you see next to it. That part is hollow, the rest is non-hollow. And then it has actually a hollow text there for the winner of the Pokemon game. I picked up a lot of those. I guess I'm moving stuff now, so I guess I'll be able to talk about it. I picked up a lot of those, kind of hoping that the Diamond and Pearl remakes would revitalize interest into Giratina cards, revitalize interest into Arceus cards too. Here's another cool victory medal. This is one of the really nice and rare LP ones. This is Typhlosion. That's probably, you're gonna see a different Typhlosion later on, but I think that's the nicer of the two artworks with the card, with the Pokemon on it. Another one of the Giratinas. Lots of 9s in these victory medals. 9-5 in the Giratina one. I think that's his Sky form. I think the Sky form is, oh, is a Phantom Zone form. This one's pretty cool. It's just a Pikachu hollow. So it has the 7-Eleven stamp on it. I'll post a picture here of what the thing it comes in. It's like a blister pack. Here's another one, 9-5, really solid grade. 10 on the subgrades are always good to see. 9-5 in the C Pikachu. I'm really surprised that they didn't just call that card Surfing Pikachu, but maybe it's because they didn't want people to associate it with the other one. 8-5, kind of a bummer to see. In the Arceus victory medal, still a gold one. Oh, and this was another one of those cards that as soon as you pick it up, you can feel there's like a slight movement in it. But as I like mentioned with other ones, it's kind of like, it's fairly rare to have that issue. Like, that's what, 2 slabs out of all the ones that you've seen me unpack that I noticed that with. So here's the other Typhlosion. I'm not a huge fan, even though it is technically a gold medal. I just don't like this artwork of Typhlosion too much, but this one did pick up the 8. I believe I purchased this one in a lot from Macari Japan with a Meganium, and it was a pretty cheap lot, so I'm not too disappointed to get the 8 in it, specifically under those conditions that I purchased it with other cards. So, you know, even getting a mediocre, it's still a strong grade, mediocre grade, though. I'm still fine. I'm not speaking about these too much because it's just a lot of repeats, but a lot of those Arceus silver victory medals. Here is that same Typhlosion gold card, gold medal, but in an 8-5, a little bit stronger. I'm inspecting these twos because they docked me on corners here, which I was a little surprised by because it seemed pretty mint. And there's a 9-5 in that card. I think this was the one that I picked up from a store. I bought it online because it was sold as like a perfect mint card. So I'm happy to get the 9-5 on at least one of these. But I don't think anyone could disagree with me that the 10 with, if you got a CGC 10 in these victory medals, how nice that would look with the gold 10 lettering and the gold medals. Here we have the Pikachu V full art from Astonishing Voltackle. Oh, it's Amazing Voltackle in Japanese, sorry. But really, really cool. This is one of the nicer full arts they've done. A lot of the Sword and Shield full arts have been good so far, but the Pikachu really stands out with that pink background and the electricity going through him. Texture is nice. 295s on a modern Japanese set card. I think that's to be expected. This is the Mars Trainer full art. I like this artwork from Mars, and it's also like a card that I was speculating on with the Diamond and Pearl remakes, that there'd be more interest in Mars because she's a member of Team Galactic. There's that 7-Eleven Pikachu. This one was a little rough. It was a 6-5 in the 2005 victory medal. So 2005 is significant because this is the first year that they did victory medals. But even then, this card, I'm very confident I bought it as a mint card online. When I got it in, I didn't notice anything. And I got docked here. We see it for corners and edges. And I'm going through it now. I didn't see what was actually wrong with this card. I noticed very bottom right, and I'm going to show it here, pointing to it. there's like a very small raise on it. Like it slightly sticks up, but not enough to get a 6 on corners. 9-5 in the Greninja Zoroark. We got a 9 previously. It was a nice card. Nice modern Japanese card to get a 9-5 in. I always talk about this, but modern Japanese I expect to get around 9s to 9-5s, and then if anything, there's probably, I would say like I send a card in expecting like a 20% chance to get to 10. Maybe 10% chance to get to 10, and then like 30% chance to get to 9-5. Here we have the, back to the Giratina Victory Medal. I do like it. I would say, this is a good one. Ignore what I was going to say about that. 8-5 in the Meganium LP Victory Medal. I think this was the one I picked up with the CGC 8 Typhlosion, like the raw copy of. Really cool though. Oh, that bottom corner is actually a little rough if you noticed. It was really quick. But really cool artwork on those. Maybe another. Probably a lot of Victory Medals here. Yeah, here's a 9 in that same card. I do like this one just because the artwork for Meganium is cool, and there's not that many Meganium cards out there. It's just kind of weird. Here's the Feraligatr. This is probably my favorite of the 4 starter Victory Medals that they had. And this is like another point. Those cards are just cool because they came out in the Heart Gold Soul Silver era. So like very relevant. Here's a 9-5 in the Diamond and Pearl. I mean, look at the generations of Victory Medals I have. I have the 2005. I show the Diamond and Pearl and Fire Red era into Heart Gold Soul Silver. That's Misty's favorite full art. Just a Japanese modern card. But that one does well. People like that artwork for Misty. And we're ending off on a CGC 9 in that Mars full art. So I wanted to go over the grade breakdown of the 80 cards that I got back. And we're going to start with the 8-5s. For the 8-5s, I got back 18 cards graded at this level. You know, it's a moderate grade. It's, you know, it's a near mint to mint card. Feels a little bit bad. I'm very confident that these cards would be considered mint. You know, almost every time. They're really crispy cards, really good looking cards. For the 9s, I got back 33 9s, so almost half the sub was 9s. And then 9-5s, I got back 27. So it's really kind of like a 50-50 split between the 9-5s and the 9s, which makes a lot of sense for me. The Japanese modern stuff tends to be around there. Now we have these 2 cards that stood out to me. This 8 in the Victory Medal. It's not too low. I got back an 8-5 in this card, so the 8 is all right. It's within reason for me. But the 6-5 in the 2005 surprised me because this card, I bought it assuming it was mint. And I'm pointing out here that it doesn't have the Black Star symbol, Black Star promo symbol, which is makes it the only Victory Medal of this style that doesn't have it. So it's a cool card. And I really just assumed it was mint off of holding it in hand in photos, but for some reason they noticed something that I didn't. So yeah, that's the card that stood out to me, but overall the rest of the submission felt fine and was very reasonable for the grades that I got.